After just 2.5 hours of deliberation, a verdict is in the case against the Rust movie armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. She's been found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in connection with the on-set death of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. Remember, of course, Hutchins was fatally shot by Alec Baldwin after Baldwin was given a gun with a live round. Gutierrez-Reed did not take the stand in her own defense, but she was in charge of securing and administering the weapons and ammo on the set. In closing arguments, her lawyers pointed the finger squarely at Baldwin. We'll play some of that in a moment, but joining me now is Jesse Weber, attorney, anchor for the Law and Crime Network, NewsNation legal contributor, following this case closely. You surprised?
I was surprised how quickly they came back. Not surprised by the verdict. Think it came down to two things: foreseeability, responsibility. The buck stopped with her, right? She was the last line of defense to check that gun. The foreseeability, with everything that was happening with that set, videos of actors pointing guns all over the place, live rounds at her prop card, accidental discharges. The idea was that she should have known something like this would happen, and it was hammered away by the prosecution so well today.
Here's the defense's effort at basically saying this is Alec Baldwin's fault. Let's listen.
She could not anticipate what Baldwin would do. It was not in the script. It was not foreseeable. Management was responsible for safety failures and not Hannah. And again, I go back to the idea that Hannah is a scapegoat for all the management failures. They do hope she gets convicted, so they're all exonerated. They can move forward. The buck always stops with production, and it's their responsibility. In any organization, it goes from the top down.
That may be true, but this doesn't mean they're getting exonerated, meaning Alec Baldwin is still facing his own involuntary manslaughter.
You can have multiple reasons for why this happened, multiple causes. Look, the problem why that argument didn't work is because Alec Baldwin was rushing through the training. She knew that. She saw him pointing the gun improperly at other times. That would have given her more notice to keep a careful eye on him. And by the way, she should have been in the church when the shooting happened to make sure how he was properly handling the gun or using the gun. That was her job, to be on set when anyone's using the gun but her.
Here's the prosecution in closing arguments.
This is not a case where Hannah Gutierrez made one mistake, and that one mistake was accidentally putting a live round into that gun. That's not what this case is about. This case is about constant, never-ending safety failures that resulted in the death of a human being and nearly killed another.
That was the most effective part of the argument, right?
That's exactly what I was talking about. All the problems that happened before shows the foreseeability. And remember, this jury had a lot of avenues to find her guilty. They could have found her guilty if she loaded the weapon with live ammunition. They could have found her guilty if she just didn't check it the right way.
How much time? If she's facing up to 18 months,
right?
Up to
18 months, no criminal record. You know, it's tough to say. You could see maybe 6 months, maybe a year. We'll wait and see. She was found not guilty of the tampering with evidence charge, so we were looking at potential 3 years. She's not getting that.
I think it'll be 6 months or less.
You could be right.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Jesse Weber, good to see you.
Good seeing you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.